Brighton 3, Wolves 2. We exit the Carabao Cup. It was a frustrating evening because I think there was some positives to take from the performance, but still a hell of a lot for Gary O'Neill to work on and make sure this side improves on. It's not been a fantastic start to the season. I don't think, unless it was a very, very heavy defeat, I don't think the result would have changed the position and the pressure on Gary O'Neill. But still, just disappointing to lose because I felt like we could have so easily gone through today. Not necessarily that I was expecting to be honest, but yeah, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. If you managed to catch the game, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll flag the screen up on the team. Up on the screen right now. It's very similar to what I expected. I did a little video yesterday just from our thoughts ahead of the game, and it wasn't far away from this team. I thought maybe Kundal would play ahead of João Gomez, and I thought maybe Justin Hubner ahead of Alfie Pond, but when Alfie Pond was outside of the 21 squad yesterday, I thought he's got a very good chance of starting, which he did. Took us a little while to try and sort of get into the game, to be honest. And both teams fairly sloppy in possession. Obviously, Brighton had rotated to a degree as well. But it was a very open game. But for some reason, Wolves just really struggling to get some control in possession. Every time we picked up the ball, it was like a panic. It was like a hot potato, and it's just so sloppy. And I just thought, if we try and play a little bit of football here, and get the ball forward, look up, and that defence splitting pass, we had the opportunity to take the lead in this game. Frustratingly, Brighton did, and I can't take much away from the two finishes, but the first one is disappointing because I think, again, we're putting pressure on ourselves. And I know it's a back four that hasn't necessarily played together, and a midfield too that hasn't really protected that back four before. But just in terms of the quality of passes, I think Doc, who is definitely capable as a left back, being a right footer there restricts him a little bit at times. But the ball comes out to João Gomez initially on the edge of the box, shields it really poorly, loses out, and the finish is very good. Could you argue Jose Sarr could do a little bit better? Maybe. But I think the quality of the finish is still very, very good. The second goal is frustrating as well. I mean, we could have conceded, probably should have conceded earlier on. Doc, again, with a really poor ball towards Sarr. Dreadful touch by Sarr, and somehow manages to get away with it. But then Brighton find another goal. Probably a little bit too easy by Pedro Lima, who allows him to come inside. It's still, again, a good finish. Again, I feel, I don't want to be super critical, but I feel Sarr could probably do a little bit better there. And although there were two decent finishes, Wolves still knocked on the door and still, I don't know, it made it a little bit too easy for Brighton. Thankfully, we got our goal before the half-time whistle, and it was Gonzalo Guedes, who I felt deserved that goal just based on the work that he put in. Sometimes his work rate, for me, has question marks over it, but what I like is that he likes to play off the last man. He does find himself in positions at times. Again, I felt he was a little bit sloppy on the ball. Some of the first touches and touches in general were quite poor from him, but I think that will come with match time and sharpness. But the first time we got the ball down and actually tried to play a little bit of football, it was Rodrigo Gomez on the left alongside Doherty. Nice 1-2 between the two. Doc squares it back across, and Guedes is there to get the goal, and all of a sudden put us straight back in the tie at 2-1. Second half, we started off brilliantly. Rodrigo Gomez, with a chance within the first 15 seconds of the second half, probably needs to do better. Forces Steele into a good save. And the remainder of the second half, I do not have a clue how we didn't get an equaliser. There were so many chances. Big one really after Semedo had come on. Ball right across the face of goal. And it's just almost trickling in. And there's like three Wolves players that have just got to throw themselves at the ball. And Hinchelwood of Brighton makes a fantastic defensive clearance. And I think that was the difference today. That Brighton, I don't think there were much in between the quality of the teams, but I think Brighton was just ruthless in front of goal, capitalised on our errors, and Wolves just didn't do that today. They managed to get their third, with the substitute, the Turkish lad coming on and scoring. Sarr powering it straight to him again. I think he's got to do better there, but I can't take anything away from the quality of Adingra who started and created the move, to be completely honest. And then we get a consolation through Tommy Doyle. Pretty well worked goal and a thunderous strike by Doyle, who I thought had a really decent game, to be fair, today. A few notes on some players. Alfie Pond, I think fair play to him. He didn't look out of place throughout the game. The first two goals, long range goals that wouldn't have been on the defenders. So I felt he did quite well for to come in and start with that occasion. Hwang again anonymous, unfortunately. Hwang, even Cunha though when he came on, I know he only played like 15-20 minutes, but just didn't affect the game whatsoever. And it's a concern that, the positive for me is, well, one, the away kit. I thought the away kit looked really nice. But the way we dominated that second half. But the negatives, just really, really poor first half. Really, really poor. Lack of ruthlessness and quality in front of goal again. So lots of chances and just didn't take those opportunities. And yeah, look, I don't think Wolves and the staff and the hierarchy will be losing much sleep over exiting the cup. But certainly doesn't help Gary O'Neill and his staff's cause at the moment. I think a win would have taken that little bit of pressure off them. Not a lot of Wolves fans went into the game expecting a win. Probably a closer game than what we expected, but still frustrating with the certain elements of the game. But good chance to get some minutes in the legs for some of the lads. Go to Villa Park on Saturday evening. Hopefully they surprise us. Hopefully they come out with 3 points, which we have done there on a number of occasions over the years. So who knows? But if you managed to catch the game today, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But I'll be back in the next couple of days with a match preview ahead of the Villa game. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, guys. And I'll catch you all very, very soon.